Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And today we are here to talk about the upcoming Lenten season.
We are 1 week away from the beginning of Lent. And that means fish fry, fish fry, fish fry.
That's right.
Unless you're in Detroit, then you can have muskrat.
Unless you're in Detroit, you can have muskrat, and we really have to take advantage.
And if you are in Detroit and you do have muskrat and you know of a place that has good muskrat, please comment down below. We'd like to try it.
So our purpose here is twofold. One, through a series of ridiculous circumstances, Nate and I are in charge of the fish fry at our parish.
Yep.
Largely, even though there's a lot of old people in the Knights, they are much quicker at going not it.
Yes, they are much quicker at going not it. And they are also good at looking at a thing and going, yeah, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole and sticking with that gun, because we looked at it and said we don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole and then said, well, maybe if.
I'm confident that, sucker is tattooed across my forehead in an ink that I can't see in the mirror, but which everyone else can.
I can't see it. So, I probably have the same tattoo, and it's something neither of us can see. So, yes. So, part of why we are doing this episode is because we need to show.
So, if you are anywhere within 2 days driving distance of Burton, Michigan, we urge you on Fridays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. to come to Holy Redeemer Catholic Church at 1227 East Bristol Road in Burton, Michigan, 48529, where we'll be serving delicious, delicious cod in the Family Life Center.
Both baked and fried with your choice of potato.
Technically, I think the Family Life Center has a different address, and it could be a weird one where it's even on a different road because of, how it's at an intersection.
Technically, it's either baked or fried with your choice of potato.
But if you offer us enough money, we will both bake and fry your fish.
Yes.
We'll take a baked fish, we'll just throw it into the fryer, it'll be great.
Well, we'll batter it first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not figuring out how to write that up on the register.
We've got, as Nate said, your choice of baked or fried fish. Your choice of French fries or baked potato. Your choice of
regular or spicy coleslaw.
With a little bit of that horseradish. Sides are available, especially our delicious, delicious macaroni and cheese.
But we're also here for a more noble reason.
All the money goes to support the good works of the night. Therefore, my selfless, and selfish shilling are the same thing.
That's fair. But we have a bigger cause in mind.
A bigger fish to fry?
Yes. Which is, it's Lent's coming. We need to be taking it seriously.
So, Jesus is up on Mount Tabor. He's being transfigured. It's amazing.
So amazing, nobody who's there wants to leave, except for Jesus.
And Jesus is insistent that they not tell anybody, even when they come down the mountain.
Yeah.
So, they come down the mountain, and there's the 9, and they're trying to exorcise a boy. And it is not working.
Have they tried jazzercides?
It doesn't say, but I'm going to
so.
presume yes.
Okay.
I think we can reasonably infer that they have. Which is perhaps why they were unsuccessful.
Maybe.
Because the Lord has given them, even Judas Iscariot, the ability to cast out demons. Well, and yet this one just won't go.
Well, there is the problem that from what we've seen from horror films, they'd have to go in and make holy water, which they haven't been officially allowed to do yet, and yell, "The power of my best friend compels you."
The power of my good buddy?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think the power's in the name. I think you have to name it.
See, and that's maybe where they went wrong.
Yep.
However, at the time, he would have just been Jesus. The power of Jesus compels you.
The power of that God compels you. Hey, Jesus, come over here.
Do something compelling on this demon.
Well, that's kind of what they did. They said, hey, Jesus, come over here. We've been trying everything we can, and we can't get the demon out of this kid.
What the heck? And so Jesus says, some will only come out through prayer and fasting. So what this indicates to me is that the apostles were a little too full of themselves, and they're like, hey, watch my neat trick. And it wasn't working. But fasting. one of the things we are called to do in Lent is fast. Clearly, I am terrible at this, but I'm constantly trying to get better.
Well, the problem is that you only have to fast on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. And so, therefore, there's a whole lot of other days in which you are not fasting.
This is indeed true.
And
2 days of fasting in 6 weeks will not a thin man make.
That's what I call a very intermittent fast.
Yeah.
that's not how that word works. I was going to say, the fasting rules aren't even, useful for that. Because for religious purposes, a fast is...
For religious purposes?
Yes,
And churchy stuff.
A fast is one meal and then 2 small snacks that do not equal the amount of a meal.
I know. And even that, you're only asked to do the 2 days.
Yes, and even in secular groups, to get a long fast going where it's actually doing stuff besides just not eating for a few hours, you need a length of time in there longer than the few hours between each snack you're getting.
Yeah. But let me propose that this Lent, we can all go above and beyond the minimum required. You are only required to fast on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. You are only required to abstain from meat on Fridays.
Yep.
And Ash Wednesday.
And Ash Wednesday. But
Nobody says you can't do more. And we are not suggesting that you in any way put yourself in a disadvantage to your own health.
Yes. The same, asterisk for fasting applies here as it does for secular fast of if you're pregnant, if you're nursing, or you have any serious illness or have to take medication that requires food, you're dispensed.
And if you are considering a extreme change to your diet,
consult your physician.
consult your physician first
And your priest.
and your priest. That may
Preferably your spiritual director, not just a random priest.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
I did say your.
Yes, but even your priest may know your name, but may not really know what's going on in your life. But one thing I would like to mention is, in the days of yore, before Nate and I were in charge of our local fish fry, the biggest single day we had as far as sales was Good Friday.
Yep.
We
Totally mess with me every time.
We were open for an hour more. Let's say that people are in church for the Good Friday observance, which, weirdly, there's no mass on that day. It's the only day of the year there's no mass. It's completely disturbing.
Yes,
but you still spend like 2.5 hours in.
Yeah, so
and not mass.
From noon to 3, and then we'd start serving at 3, from 3 to 7. And this was a huge day. 2 things have happened. One, we no longer have access to the facility where that used to be held. And in the Family Life Center, the Family Life Center is used overnight from Holy Thursday for the repose of the Blessed Sacrament.
Yes.
And so you can't really just tear it down quickly and do a fish fry. But also, Good Friday is not a good day to be holding a fish fry.
No.
It's a fasting day.
Yes.
And given what Good Friday is, the tremendous spiritual significance of the day, the fulcrum of all of existence, this is a day to really take fasting seriously.
Absolutely.
And our fish fry is delicious, so that does not encourage anyone to fast.
It encourages me to fast because I can't eat any of your stuff. Well, I could eat the baked cod, but I don't like fish.
Well, there's very little we can do about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you can get the bishop to dispense us, we will serve muskrat just for you.
But anyways, so rule number 1: go to your fish fries. Support
or
all
your
the
muskrat
good
fries.
So-
or
so-
your alligator fries.
support your local Knights of Columbus and all the good works that they do through the funds that they raise by selling fish.
Or, your parish school or your parish, because sometimes the
That's
Knights are
true,
the
yeah.
ones that do it, but some organization usually does.
Yeah. And it's not just to support their fundraising efforts, it's also a great opportunity to build up Christian community, which is something we all need more of.
Yep. Sit at a table with somebody that you're not all that familiar with, and get to be more familiar with them. But also,
I will try to spend more time talking to the nice Protestants I know from jail ministry who are kind enough to come to our fish fry and whom everyone ignored last year because they thought that one guy was a different guy who used to be mean to us. Even though he wasn't that guy.
he wasn't that guy. But we're also here to tell you
We still laugh about that.
to work on making this Lent your greatest Lent ever, to steal a line from somebody else.
No, we can say greatest Lent ever. That's not copyrighted.
Okay, fair enough.
Prayer and fasting. There are some things in your life, some demons
that
can
cannot be dealt with just the regular stuff. You gotta be a little more serious about it.
And if you are like me and go, I don't want nor can eat fried fish and French fries, next Monday there is a group collab started by the Overnight Mom, in which we are all sharing different recipes for Fridays in Lent. So some of them are going to be, fancier things. Some are, like I'm on a budget. Some are I want to be like just plant-based. Some are I'm low carb. Some are I have a special dietary need. So if you're like me and going, well, I don't actually eat fish and French fries, it'll give you lots of other ideas of things you possibly could eat.
Support your local fish fries, especially if they are church or religious school run, or charity run. Focus on the things that you can do in Lent to make this Lent that much more powerful in your life. Make sure you're doing all the things you should be doing, but also consider what else can I do.
Tune in to the collab to learn some more interesting things you could prepare for your family to eat on these meatless Fridays.
And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.
Well, maybe
I'm
we
an
can find
omnivore.
we can find some barnacle goose and look up to see if it's still classified as a fish for Lenten purposes.
What about crab balls? If we did crab balls, would you like those?
They usually have breading.